Hello, I'm Peter C. Hayward, and today I'm going to show you how to play Sunshine City Map 2. Map 1 has already been played by Rado and various others, and you'll find links to that in the description. So I wanted to jump in and record a playthrough of Map 2. I'm just going to be playing against no one, so if you want to play along, you can. I'm going to be playing a simple game, a normal game, so that's first to 7 solar panels, and due to the nature of the game, whatever I do, you can also do. So I'm going to roll the dice, and then you can pause, make your moves, and then once you've done that, unpause, see what I did, and basically race me to win. So if I finish before you do, I win, and if you finish before I do, then you win. And that's how the game works. So I'm just going to be rolling dice on Google Dice Roller. I don't know what it's called. I'll try to put them there. So you can see here we're opening with a 6 and a 2. So I'll go through the basics of the game, which is that every turn we're going to roll 2 dice, and then we're going to move 2 of our workers based on those dice. So we have a builder, we have a lobbyist, we have an inventor, and I want to use this video to also show how I play this in Photoshop. For every map I'll be doing a different video and showing how to play it in a different way. So this one is Photoshop. If you don't have Photoshop, GIMP, I believe, is the free alternative, but really any software that has layers, you can basically do what I'm doing. So this is just a very simple layer-based way to play it digitally. I'm not going to be showing how to play it physically because, again, Rado has done that. And in future playthroughs, I'll be showing off some of the opponents as well. Some of them are quite tricky, so I probably won't do those in a live play because they will crush me. I'm actually not that good at the game considering I designed it. But that is the premise here. So I'm going to be playing map 2. Oh yeah, so every turn you roll 2 dice and you move 2 of these workers clockwise around the map. So with a 2 and a 6, you always move the lower die first. So the lower die here is a 2. So I could move, for example, my builder 2 clockwise, and then I would activate it in this region. So this is the wood region, and you can see my builder here is a little yellow square. That means I can cross off any 2 wood in yellow squares. So that can be in the same region I was in, that can be in different region, that can be in 2 completely different regions. So I could cross off one from here and one from here. Anywhere on the map you see a piece of wood inside a yellow square, I can cross that off with my builder, and I get 2 of them because you can see here that 2 of the resources are circled. So if later on I could circle a 3rd resource, I would get 3 wood when I move a worker here. As well as crossing off wood in yellow circles, yellow squares, sorry, I can also cross off question marks. So question marks are sort of like wilds. You can use any resource to cross them off. So with my 2 wood here, I could do something like this, or I could do something like this if I wanted to. Basically, any 2 yellow squares on the entire map that have wood or a question mark in them. Once I've done that, I would move a different worker with my 6. So I could move either the inventor or the lobbyist. Let's say I move the lobbyist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They always move clockwise. So with this, I could cross off any 2 phones that are in blue circles. You can see my lobbyist is a little blue circle. So any 2 phones in blue circles. So I could cross off those. I could cross off this one and this one. And just as before, question marks serve as a wild. So I could cross off this one and this one. The purpose of this is, well, I'll quickly, if instead I decided to move the inventor, I could cross off, let's say I move the inventor 2 instead of the builder. I could cross off any 2 wood or question marks that are in, what do you call that, tan, orange, kind of reddy pink hexagons. So I could cross off these 2 or these 2 or this one here and this one here. Any combination that I wanted. But the important thing to note is that the builder can only cross off stuff in the yellow squares. The inventor can only cross off stuff in the red, let's call it pink hexagons. And the lobbyist can only cross off stuff from the blue circles. So what's the point of that? Well, I mentioned earlier that I'm getting 2 wood from the wood section because I have 2 wood circled. If I can cross off an entire column, then I get to circle, in this case I'm just going to underline, another one. So the next time that someone landed here, so let's say my lobbyist came here next, instead of getting 2 wood, they would in fact get 3 wood. So by crossing off columns of yellow squares, you're building a little resource engine. If you know Photoshop, you'll notice that I've made a separate layer for the lobbyist, the inventor, and the builder. They're all just basic shapes that I drew using the shape tool. and then I just used the eyedropper to grab the relevant colors, and I just added a little stroke so they're a little easier to notice. And then these guys, if I ever try to draw on that layer, you'll see it won't let me. I've locked the background, so it won't let me draw on that either. And so now I just have this layer called markings, and this is where I'm actually going to do all of my markings. And this is actually really handy because if you're like, I want to start again, and you've got, half the board marked off, and I did this a lot while designing the solo modes, you can just Control A, delete, and bam, you've reset. You'll have to move all of your workers back down here, but it's very, very easy to reset the board. So the builder builds, these are called buildings. The builder builds buildings. Say that 10 times fast, and that increases your resource output. The inventor completes, you guessed it, inventions. So if I can ever get the top 9 resources of one of these things crossed off, then I will cross off this little light bulb, and now I have this ability for the rest of the game. So this one is produce +1 resource if none is spent on question mark boxes. So let's say my lobbyist came over here. Instead of just getting 2 glass, they would get 3 as long as they're all spent on actual glass. So I could go 1, 2, 3, that would be fine, but I couldn't go 1, 2, 3 because the rule is you get an extra resource, and the extra resource has to be spent by the worker in the same way as it normally would be. But you only get that bonus if you don't spend any on question mark boxes. So you'll see every region has its own unique invention here. And then lastly, the lobbyist is completing these little vehicles. Now on this map, they're little bugs. So we've got little beetles and ants and ladybugs. It's all very cute. If let's say I completed all of these, I would get 1 gear. Now I don't have to spend this gear straight away, but at any point I can cross off this gear and spend it down the bottom left here. Whatever I spend it on, I get that straight away, and then that is spent. So in this case, I would get 3 gold, and then I would never be able to use this one again. Or if I crossed off 2 gears at once, I would get 1 of each resource, and then this would be done, and I would never get to use it again. So that is what the lobbyist, the inventor, and the builder do. But to what end, you ask? Well, if you can ever complete every... these are called boxes, whether they're squares, circles, or hexes. If you complete every box of a color in a district, each of these little sections is called a district. So this is the glass district, the wood district, the computer chip district. If you can complete everything, every box of a color in a district, then you get a solar panel. Hooray! If you get 7 solar panels, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you win the game. So you, my intrepid watcher at home, will be playing against me trying to get to 6. So every turn I'll roll these dice, I'll move the workers, I'll roll the dice, you pause the video, you move the workers according to these dice, unpause it, see what I do, I'll roll again, we'll keep going. At some point I will hit 7 solar panels. If you hit that before me, you win. If you hit that after me, then I win. Or more accurately, if I hit 7, then you kind of have to stop. But at that point, you could go back and start again if you wanted to. You can play me infinite times until you beat me. That is the idea. Whoops, I didn't do that. I'm going to delete everything. Okay, so the only thing I haven't mentioned is at the top here, you'll see that there's these 2 kind of bonus solar panels. So you can get all these solar panels down here by completing every box of a color in a district. These 2 you get another way. So this first one you get by completing 3 inventions, and that's just the light bulb part of the invention. So if I complete 3 of those, I get a free solar panel from that. And if I complete another 3 for a total of 6, I would get a second solar panel. So that's just sort of a nice little direction to be like, ooh, I might focus on inventions this game. Without further ado, let's jump into it. So you can see here we got our opening roll of 2 and 6, and I think that actual move that I did in the theoretical is pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and cross off 2 wood with my builder. I'm not going to pause for you to do what you're going to do, so you just have to jump in. You have to be quick on the pause button. So that was 2 for my builder. Second die was a 6. I wonder if there's a way to get these to stay on the screen. Oh, there we go. It's not perfect. If I make this smaller, does it shrink? No. Well, this is as good as we got, folks. Oh, there we go. I can do that. So I can say 6 and 2. Even then, it's not going to stay on the screen, nothing about it, so sorry about that. I just have to pause, look at the dice, and go ahead. So that was 2 with my builder, 6 with my lobbyist. Now, the interesting thing about support, which is what this phone represents, is that it only appears to the lobbyist. So the other workers can use it, they have to spend it as question marks. But in terms of it actually being a phone, you'll see it's only in the blue circles. So what am I trying to do here? I'm going to go ahead and just cross off those 2. So second roll is a 1 and a 6, and again you always have to do the lower die than the higher die. So let's have a look at these. Well, getting anyone back to... Oh, here's something I totally forgot to mention. Gold! You'll see gold does not appear in any of these boxes. This is because gold is a true wild. So whenever you earn gold, whenever you produce gold, you can spend it anywhere. Nope. Whenever you produce gold, you can spend it as anything. So for example, I'm going to move my lobbyist 1, and in doing so, I'm going to have 2 money to spend, it's technically called. So I could spend that as wood, as steel, as science, as computer chips, anything I like, as long as I'm spending it as my lobbyist. So my lobbyist gets 2 gold to spend as a lobbyist. I'll also mention that anything that lets you gain, so this little power here says gain, and anything you get from here is gain, these can be spent in any color box. So when I gain the 3 gold, that I'm about to do in a second in fact, I can spend that as a builder, I can spend that as an inventor, I can spend that however I like. I have complete and total freedom to spend that however I dang want to. So my lobbyist has moved into the money section, so I'm going to get one money and spend it here, and then a second money, and I might just keep on getting these early gears, I think. Then my second die roll was a 6, so I can either move my builder 6, getting him into the computer chip section, or I can move my inventor 6, which would get him into the support section. That's not great, because as mentioned, there are no support in the pink hexes, so that would have to be spent as question marks, which is fine. You sometimes have to do it, but it's not the ideal way to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and move my builder 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then he's going to get 2 computer chips, and I'm actually going to spend 1 here as a question mark, which unlocks a 3rd wood. And I'm going to spend... Oh, I'm really tempted to do this. Yeah, I'm going to... What are my powers here? Getting steel in this one's not bad, because then if I can get my guys 2 steel... So yeah, let's go ahead and spend it as a question mark here. And then, as mentioned, I've unlocked 1 gear, so I'm going to spend that to then spend 3 gold. And these gold can be spent anywhere. I'm going to spend 2 over here in the steel section. And do I want to keep on going with wood? I'm going to spend 1 here in the wood section and another 1 here in the steel section. That's what I'm going to do. Now, I've not really been focusing on inventions yet, which I do want to do to get these bonus solar panels, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Okay, next roll is 2 and 5, so pause the video and make your moves while I think about what I want to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 for my builder isn't great because that'll take him into the support zone. 5 for either of these 2 will get me into science. That's not bad for my inventor, because I could start working towards this kind of invention, which I have decided I like. One thing to note is that in the lumber and money districts, the invention only costs 6 resources, so it's actually a little faster to get those. So that's a nice quick way to get to this solar panel. This power is that you may skip every district with all boxes of their color crossed off, and this one is resolving your dice highest to lowest. Okay, I think I want to move you 5, so then my other roll was 2. Getting glass isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I think I'm gonna actually move my lobbyist 2, because that way I get 3 wood, and I'm going to keep on working towards this solar panel, which I've already started on. So you can see I'm most of the way towards the 2nd gear already. And then for my 5, I'm going to move my inventor, and I'm just going to use my 2 science over here to start working towards this invention. Okay, rolling again. We got a 3 and a 6. So pause and do your 3 and 6 while I think about what I want to do. If I move my builder here, I can actually get to a 4th steel, which is pretty nice. On the other hand, if I move at 6, I get 2 of anything. But I think in this case the steel's actually better. So I think I'm going to use my 3. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my 3 here. 1, 2, 3. And that gets me 3 steel, which I'm just going to spend here for 1, 2, 3. That means I'm up to 4 steel unlocked. And then you'll see I can actually move my inventor. Was it 6? Yes, 3. A lot of 6s this game. And then move my inventor 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That'll get me 4 steel, which is very nice, especially because this invention requires a bunch of steel. And then I'll spend the last one on one of these question mark boxes. So I'm pretty happy with that turn. Okay, next roll is another 3 and 6. So now I could take my builder back to gold, which is always nice. 6 doesn't do much for my inventor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 doesn't do much for my lobbyist either. But so I could actually go 3 on the. Yeah, that's not bad. 3 on the inventor would get me to the money district, which would mean I was only 1 question mark box off unlocking this invention, which would be quite nice. And then, not sure what to do with the 6. I guess the builder up to glass isn't terrible. It's not filling me with joy. I could just keep on working on the steel. I might do that. Okay, so inventor for 1, 2, 3. That gets me 2 money, because I've only got 2 circled. So I'm going to go 1, and then anywhere I land I'll actually be able to finish these. So let's just start working on a new one. Which of these inventions do I want? So I'm just going to briefly talk through them. This one lets you resolve your dice highest to lowest. So you'll remember I've been saying we always have to do 3, then 6, or the lowest, then the highest. This one means you can do it in either order, which can be nice. This one allows my inventor to move backwards. That one's actually really nice in this particular set because I do want to get those inventions crossed off as much as possible. So for example, a 3 here would allow me to go back to steel and start really racking up those points. So I'm leaning towards that one. Yeah, in fact, I'm just going to go ahead and take that one. So I used. So one thing about using Photoshop is you can actually undo and see what you did. So I moved and then I filled in 1. So I'm going to fill in a second one. Let's fill in a. Doesn't really matter. Let's fill in a computer chip. So that was my 3. And then with my 6, I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and get some glass and just keep on keeping on down here. Next roll. 1 and 2. So again, we must do the 1 and then the 2. 1 back to steel isn't bad. It's 4 steel, but it's not anything super exciting to spend that on. Whereas 1 over here. Oh, actually, no. 2 over here is nice because that lets me finish these off and continue working on this one. And then, yeah, so I'm just going to go for maximum output. So 1 here gives me 4 steel. So I'll just keep on stealing. 1, 2. S-T-E-E-L, not stealing as in swiping. And then 2 more steel. If I do that, then I can. That's not great. 2 more steel. Let's start on gold. Getting extra money is always good because it's so versatile. And then my inventor is going to move 2 because it was a 1 and a 2. And with that, he's got 3 wood, so he's going to finish this one. So now any workers that move from here are going to get +1 resource. The next time I move my builder, he's going to get an extra resource. And then I have a 3rd wood, and I'm just going to start question marking over here. I could also start question marking down here to start unlocking these solar panels, but I like to do that last once I've built my engine a little bit more. So 3 and 4. Now builder with 3 is 3 gold, which is pretty dang good. I'm unlikely to pass up on that. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'll move my lobbyist back here and keep on racking up the telephones. The alternative is 3 with my inventor, which is not super exciting. 3 with my, so nothing else is really appealing. So let's go 1, 2, 3 with the builder. That gets me 3 gold. So let's go 1, 2, unlocking another one here. And then 3. I went with glass because I'm mostly trying to get. So when I land here, when I'm building towards this, rather than have, for example, one glass and one science, I'd rather have two science because that allows me to just land in science once and check all of those off. Whereas if I did something like this, I'd have to land in science once and then also in glass once, which would be super annoying. So I'm just trying to leave myself with a nice clean finish. So that was the 3. So then I've got 4. I said I was going to move the lobbyist. 1, 2, 3, 4. That gives me 2 more phones. Let's keep working away over here. And let's... Oh, actually, 2 phones. I could do this, and then I have another gear. Now, that's not super helpful because there's nothing else that costs 1 gear, but it's nice to it's nice to have something finished. It's satisfying. Feels resolved. Okay, I've got a 1 and a 6. So... moving my moving my inventor 1 is not too bad because I am trying to get to glass over here. Moving my lobbyist 1 is nice because that's anything, and I could get my second gear. That would allow me to do this, which is a lot of everything, but I don't think that's actually super helpful right now. I'd rather save up to 3 gears and knock off a bunch of question mark boxes because that would let me, say, finish this just for free, essentially. Cross off 1 box from each vehicle is nice too. Activate each completed building. So this one, just to specify, this does not count your starting resources because you see there's no building attached to them. So this one activates every building that you've completed. So if I did this right now, I would get 3 steel and 1 wood. So that's quite a nice one to do end game. I think I'm going to keep on working towards inventions. So I'm going to move you 1. What was it? It was 1 and 6. I'm going to cross off 2 glass. Ugh, I don't like having this 1 here, but maybe I'll get some gold later or something. And then with a 6, I think this is... none of these are great moves. I think I'll move my builder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's not amazing to get 2 phones with a builder, but it does mean I can just keep on working this off. And then if I can get another 6, then I can finish it off with science and get it my first solar panel. 2 and 4. So, anything exciting here? Getting more science doesn't do a lot for me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, gold is nice for the inventor. That would let me get rid of that glass that was bothering me. And what was it? 2 and 4? Yes. So 2 with the builder isn't great. The lobbyist isn't great either. The lobbyist can at least start chipping away at this, which is going to be a solar panel eventually. So let's go 2 with the lobbyist, and that's 2 computer chips, which I will spend down here. This doesn't get me a gear, but it does work towards a solar panel. So, as mentioned, to get a solar panel, you have to complete every box of a color in a district, including these ones and these ones, which don't actually get you an immediate benefit. They're just sort of for the solar panel. And then with my 4, I wanted to do the inventor. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 gold. Let's go to this glass. I'm actually going to leave these here because the only way to cross these off is going to be either to land back in gold and cross them off anyway, or here. And again, I like to leave myself a nice clean cross off. I'm leaning towards this one just because anything that gives me resources is nice. This one's pretty good though. You may treat science boxes as question mark boxes. So that means that these science that I have everywhere, anything could be used to fill them. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with that. So I don't want to spend any money on steel because I've got a lot of steel output. I don't have glass and I don't have computer chips, but my computer chips are going to be taken. So I really want to save my computer chips for this one, which is almost done. So I'm going to use one of the money to cross off one of these computer chips. Next roll, 4 and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now landing here is actually really nice, not only because I've set it up to have this enormous output, but also because when something leaves here, they get an extra resource. So anytime I can get something to steal, I really do want to do that. 4 and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, so I can actually get 2 things to steal this turn. Now the downside of this is that eventually I'm going to run out of steel to spend. Oh, actually, this is an interesting one. So if I had unlocked this one, let me do them highest to lowest. Oh no, never mind. I was going to say I could use the builder to get the extra resource and then move the inventor onto it, but no, this is not steel. This is science. Ignore me. 1, 2, 3, 4. I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steel for inventions. That's very nice. Well, I'm going to definitely cross off those two, and now I just need the computer chips. And because this one's so close to a... it'll be close to the solar panel, I might as well use the steel on that. And then builder for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have another 5 steel to spend. I think I'm going to keep on working towards this gold by just crossing off these question mark boxes. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't see a better use for it, so let's just keep on going with that. Because money is so versatile, then these buildings actually cost way more. So you'll see the first building here just costs 3 resources. The first one here costs 8. So these gold buildings or these money buildings are very expensive, but the flexibility you get from them is intense. Okay, next turn we've got another 1 and a 2. So remember, whatever leaves here will get will get +1 resource. So by moving my builder 1, I'll get these 2 science and another science as well, which I could start putting towards this if I wanted to. And then 2, I'd get a lot of phones. That's not super tempting to me. 2 under glass is better, question mark? Yeah, it's not super exciting, but what is? Okay, so let's review 1. Now you left this area, so you'll get an extra. So that's going to be 1, 2, and then a 3rd science, which I'm going to put over here. And then with my 2, I'm going to move my lobbyist just over here to the glass area and cross off 2 glass. I think I'm going to keep on spending it as wilds and just keep on working towards these solar panels that I'm already working on. Nice simple turn. 1 and 6. So 6 is nice because that'll get my builder all the way back to steel again, and I'll just be swimming in steel. 1 would get, actually, yeah, it would get my my lobbyist under steel, and I do want to swim in steel. Now, I really want to get you 2 chips, but that would be a 4, so that's not going to happen anyway. So let's do 1 with the lobbyist, and that's 5 steel towards blue circles. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As you can see, this is actually, I wish I could claim this is deliberate. We've chosen the 2 regions that have the most steel for the lobbyists to work on, but that was just because that happened to be where the quick, easy gears were. And then 6 for the builder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's another 5. Oh, sorry. Let me undo all of that. So 2 things. Firstly, when I completed this, I should have underlined this. So now, as well as 5 steel, this will always produce 1 gold. And secondly, you'll see I've got every yellow box complete. So that is my first solar panel. How many solar panels are you at? If you've not got any yet, that's going to sound like I'm gloating. I'm not. I was going for conversational YouTuber style, but instead I worry I've come across as a bit of a bit of a bully. Hopefully you've got 1 million solar panels. That's not helping. That's just doubling down. The other thing I wanted to briefly mention is that I'm able to do the math very quickly because A, I've done it a lot, but also because there are 7 boxes. So every time you get a 6, it's the same as moving backwards 1. Every time you get a 5, it's the same as moving backwards 2, and you can math it out pretty easily. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 would take you here. Backwards 2 would also take you there. So that's why I'm able to roll that number and immediately be like, oh, I know where that's going. Okay, so let's do the 1 again with the lobbyist. This time I've got 5 steel and 1 money, which I can spend on anything. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then with my 1 money, I'm going to spend it on a phone. So now I have access to both of these gears. So if I wanted to, I could do this one. This one's not bad. It's 1 of everything. So what would I use that for right now? I'd use the chip down here and get a solar panel. I'd use the wood and the phone. Now, these don't have to be spent in the lobbyist area. That just happens to be where I have a bunch of kind of one-offs left. But I think I'd rather keep on saving and get the 7 question mark boxes, because that basically gets me a solar panel and then 1 more question mark box anywhere I like. So that was the 1, and then with my 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I'm going to get 5 steel and 1 anything. So I'm just going to keep on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pouring my steel in here. And I'm actually going to use the 1 anything on this science. And again, it's because I just want to leave myself with nice clean rows. So if I can, if I can get a bunch of wood, I can just pour it straight into this and be mostly done. Or I could pour it in here and increase my wood production. There's all kinds of options. Okay, next roll is 4 and a 5. So, what do I want to do with that? Well, they're all here, so I can tell you that no matter what I move, one of them will go to the chip district and one of them will go to the wood district. Now, they happen to be 2 districts that I really want to go to. So, the inventor's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, because, doop doop, that's our second light bulb. And then that was 2, but because he left the steel district, I get 1 more. And I think I said I was going to start working down here, yeah. And then my builder, oh, and this will show off the thing I was just talking about. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's right, isn't it? 4 and 5. And then you'll see I will get 4 wood. And so that'll allow me to just immediately go 1, 2, 3, 4. So you'll see I really set myself up for that earlier by getting rid of the, what was that, a science, and leave myself with a nice clean sweep. I didn't know that this guy was going to come here and get a bunch, get exactly 4 wood, but when he did, I was set up for it. So now my financial district is looking very, very nice. As well as that, I've unlocked this power. Your inventor may move backwards. So now whenever I'm calculating, as well as my inventor, let's say I rolled a 2, my inventor could either go to glass or could go back to support district. So that's very handy. Okay, 3 and 5. So what am I really looking for at this point? I would like some glass and some steel. Oh, well, I want steel. And so with a 3, I can take you to the steel district. And you can see now why it's so valuable to set up your steel district with this power. Because by going here, they get a bunch. And by leaving here, they get a bonus. So my inventor is going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steel and 1 anything. So let's go 1, 2, 3... I think I'm just going to start knocking off question marks. 4, 5, and 1 anything. And again, I'm going to just try to leave myself with a nice clean sweep. If I can roll a 6 with this inventor now, I can go over here and just knock that off in a single swoop. So that was the 3, and then I've got a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, oh, that's very nice. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 takes me to the financial district. So I've got 4 gold to spend, and I think I'm actually going to pour it back into the financial district. I'm not going to put it in steel, because I've got a nice little steel making engine. I'm not going to put it in question marks, because anything can fill those. I'm not going to put it in wood, because I produce quite a lot of wood over here. So I'm going to get rid of 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's roll again. 4 and 5. Funny, we've had no doubles so far, so I haven't even bothered explaining the rule, but there is a rule, I promise. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, now, the inventor can move either way. So I really want glass from the inventor. Unfortunately, neither 4 nor 5 will take me here. But 1, 2, 3, 4, going backwards of the inventor will take me to the financial district. And that's extremely generous, because that's 5, because of the +1 bonus from here, of anything. So you can see we've set up a nice little engine here. By getting this financial district going, by getting this one giving the +1 and letting the inventor move either way, we will be able to knock off inventions like nobody's business. What did I say? 5. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I've got to remember I've got 2 more money for the inventor, but right now we've got 1, 2, 3 inventions, so that's done, which crosses off our second solar panel. 2 more. Well, let's just start whittling away at this, and we'll get the solar panels from these as well, and then we'll be well on our way to 7 solar panels. So that was the 4. What can we do with a 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wood's not terrible for the lobbyists, because we want this wood here, but it's also not amazing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do we want science? Not really. I think I'd rather the wood for the lobbyist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 3 wood, +1 because he left from the steel district. This is a very powerful ability. So 4 wood for the lobbyist. So let's go 1. Oh, that's all the wood in inventions. It's all down here. There is this one, but this needs a bit of everything. So it's kind of a lot of work to knock that one off. Well, let's, I think we're going to get our inventions, I think we're going to get our solar panels from here and from the inventions that the inventor's going to start knocking out, and then another one from here. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then yeah. So I think at this point trying to get another invention from the lobbyist is not going to be fruitful. So let's instead just start knocking these off to just try to get that extra chip to get these 7 question mark boxes. Let me just check the math on that. That was 4 wood. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. Okay, let's roll. 3 and 5. Still no doubles the whole game. That's bananas. Now, I could move my inventor back here with the 3 because it can move in either direction, which is not a terrible move. It's not super valuable. I'm really looking for stuff that's not steel, but having it here will let me knock off some question marks, and then when it leaves here, it'll get a little bonus, and it can get a bonus in either direction. So it's not a bad idea to set it up, especially because it can go over here again. Does anyone have anything better for 3? I'm trying to work towards steel. What did I get? 3 and 5? Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm trying to work towards steel and wood for you, for the builder. And you just really want anything juicy. So getting you over here is not a bad idea. So I think what I'll do is I'll do the inventor for 1, 2, 3 going backwards as per this power. So that's 5 steel and 1 anything. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, knocking this one off. 5 steel. I keep looking at districts that aren't steel. There's nothing super exciting, is there? I could do this, I guess. Oh, because I'm trying to get the 6. That's right. I forgot about that. So 1, 2, 3. I've lost count again. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1 anything. And so I'll use that to keep. Oh, I'll use that to go here and get us another solar panel. One thing I sometimes do is I just cross these whole areas off once I've gotten the solar panel from them. So I've got 1, 2, 3, and then the 4th one came from up here, and that seems to be right. Right, that was with our 3. We've got a 5, and I think I decided the lobbyist was the best bet there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yes, of course, just because it gets 4 anything, which is always nice. So I can go here, and that gets us a solar panel. So at 5 solar panels, that was 1 spent, 2, 3, 4. I could also go 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1 anything. I think that's actually better because I'm almost certainly going to hit the steel again with the lobbyist. And that gets me my... I've got 4 available now. So yeah, I think I'm going to spend 3 of them immediately. 1, 2, 3... Oh, no, you know what I'll do? Hang on. I'm going to undo. In real life, you wouldn't undo quite this much. Let's see. So I want to undo. Okay, so I moved it, and then I've got 4 gold available. So 1 for the solar panel, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to undo what I did earlier and do this instead, because now I can spend 1, 2, 3 gears on this to knock off any 7 question mark boxes. So that's 1, 2, and that's another solar panel. Does that say any 7? Gosh, that's so many. Yep. So I've got 5 question marks that I can fill in. I was going to do it on these, but this is not going to be super helpful for me. Is anything going to get me closer to a solar panel any faster? Nothing's jumping out at me. I've got 5, any 5 question marks left. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1 left, I'll just throw that here. So now all I need to win the whole game is 2 steel and 2 wood. Alternatively, 3 wood and 3 chips, or nothing else is jumping out at me. A whole bunch of stuff here. Yeah, so I just need 1 more solar panel. So let's see how quickly I can get it. 4 and 6. Well, this one can go either way. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be nice, because that would be all 3 of these gone. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's nice too, because that would be those, and then you're in a really good position. Oh, that would be those, and that one, and in a good position. Oh, choices, choices. I think I like the builder going here more. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. So, what about 4 and 6? 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 5 steel and 1 anything. So let's go 1, 2 steel. Don't really care about the other one. 3, 4, 5 steel and 1 anything. So now I literally just need 1 gold to win the game. Oh, so in fact, if I get a second gear, there's no easy way to do that. This one I'm very close to, but then other than that, I'm not really close to any gears. Because yeah, second gear would get me that 1 gold and 1 wood. In fact, this might have been better than I thought it was. I think I underestimated that. So that was the 4. And then for 6, I can move the inventor to steel or glass. Neither of those get me any closer, so I'd rather keep you where you are so I can take advantage of your +1 when it's useful. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for 2 telephones. And I'm trying to see if there's a quick way to get another gear. Nothing's jumping out at me, so let's just go. I haven't built up glass or science or chips. This needs question marks, but so does this. This just needs a bunch of phones. So yeah, I'll just knock off these 2, and I don't think that's going to be helpful to me, but I don't see. Oh, actually, no, I'll do these 2, because then if I can get a 1, then I can finish either one of these. And that gets me my last gear for this, which gets me that for the last solar panel. So let's roll again. 3 and 4, not a single double this game. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, that's really nice, because that's now 5 gold, which is 1 off a victory. What was it? 3 and 4. Alternatively, I can move you here and get 3 of these, which is definitely not something I'm going to complain about. And then 3. Oh no, I just win. 1, 2, 3 gets me 5 gold, so that's 1. And that's my 7th solar panel. We're going to finish the turn because the tiebreaker is most solar panels. So if we can somehow sneak a second one out, then we're in a good position. So I've got 4 more gold to spend from my builder friend here. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think that's going to be helpful, but we'll see. And then what do I have left? A 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Oh, you can also get there. And 1, 2, 3, 4. This is now 5 gold plus 1 for leaving from here. So that's 6 gold. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is an 8th solar panel. So at this point, pencils down. I mean, you can keep playing if you want, obviously. I'm not going to stop you. But at this point, the game is technically over. If you've already completed your 7th solar panel before this turn, you win. If you completed your 7th solar panel on this turn, then I win. If you completed more than 8, then you win. If you completed exactly 8, you'll have to go to the tiebreakers and see what they are. I believe it's... I should know this, but I don't. But that is Sunshine City. That is set 2. I hope you've enjoyed watching this, so we can see now how this game can be played on Photoshop. And I'll be back later with another video showing how to play the game on a different piece of tech. Thanks for playing. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know any mistakes I made in the comments. I'm sure there were some. And I'll see you next time. Oh, thanks so much for checking out this game. I'm the Peter C. Hayward from the Buy section, and I honestly am really proud of this game, and I hope that you've been enjoying it as much as I have. Leave a comment, let me know how you did, and I'll see you next time. Bye!